How is it going, guys? It is freaking November already. That is crazy. And I know you guys are probably wondering, people have already been asking me nonstop. And if you don't already know, here you go. Our Black Friday sale is currently live. It actually started last Friday, if you're curious, and it's gonna be running through December 2nd, which is next Tuesday. So from now until then, you can get up to 25% off on the website. Well, technically, it's up to 50% off, but I'll get to that here in a second. There's a lot of different discounts happening, so I'm gonna try and break this down as best I can for you so you can get a glimpse of what deals you want to take advantage of. Now, one thing to note is that the dates for some of these other brands besides our own can vary. So while I may mention the brand in this video, if the sale is not currently live, because some brands wait until it's actually Thanksgiving or Black Friday, I can't actually share the details. So what I'll do instead is post a comment down below that I'll pin, and I'll keep updating it with all the different sales, with the dates and the discounts, so you can quickly look down below in the description or in the comment section and see the list of sales and see what you're interested in. The first thing you want to know is that all of the discounts, no matter the brand, do not require any sort of discount code. It's automatically applied. However, there are some BOGO deals that do require you to add that additional free item to your cart. I'll get to that here in a second, but let's start going through the list. To start, all Driven Media products are at least 10% off, but there are 4 categories with additional markdowns. So the best sellers are 15% off, overlays are 20% off, and the deep deals discount category is 25% off. Oh, and all merch is 50% off. And one thing about the merch is that once it sells out, it's gone. It's not going to be restocked. I'll do another merch drop later on next year, but this stuff is not going to be restocked. So if you've been wanting to pick some of this up, do so now while they're still available. Well, some of them are still available. But let's talk about the BOGO deals. If you decide to pick up an Infinity Designs intake, you also get a $50 Driven Media gift card. Like I said earlier, all you have to do is add that $50 gift card to your cart and the discount will automatically apply. Same thing for any set of coilovers you buy on the website, whether it's Koni's, Annex, Olin's, HKS, or Apexi, any set of coilovers also gets that gift card, so don't forget to add it to your cart. Now let's go through the other brands that are currently on sale. I've got my cheat sheet here because there's a lot of them and I'm not gonna be able to memorize all these dates and discounts. So RacerX, headlights, tail lights, fourth brake lights, and trunk lights are all 15% off through the 2nd. Annex Suspension is $250 off the Fast Road Pro kits through the 8th, and you get that $50 Driven Media gift card. AWE exhausts are 15% off through the 2nd. Billet work, so shift knobs and short shifters are 20% off through the 5th. Aero 404 Motorsports is 5% off through the 2nd. And Forged Finesse rear seat delete kits are also 5% off through the 2nd. Infinity Designs intakes, 10% off through the 2nd. And again, that $50 gift card as well. VLAN taillights are 15% off through the 2nd, and then 3D Max Spider floor mats are 5% off through the 15th. So those are the sales that are currently live right now to take advantage of. Now let's go through the list of brands that will eventually be on sale. So we've got Beat Sonic, Eventuri, Juice Pipes, X-Force, and Varus Engineering. And that pretty much does it for all the sales stuff. So like I said, I will leave a comment down below that I will keep updated so you can check back to see what new sales are currently available. But now, let's jump into the new products. Guys, I am happy to announce, no, I am ecstatic to announce that the Driven Media GR86 DRL bezels are now available for pre-order. Now, pre-orders are going to be limited to 100 sets at the discounted price of $300. Once those sets are spoken for, that price is gonna go back up to the retail price of $350. So if you wanna be an early adopter and take advantage of that discount, make sure to get your order in today. These are 100% plug and play, super easy to install. They feature a startup sequence, sequential turn signal, and the ability to swap from a white DRL to an amber DRL if you choose. Now these functions are also customizable. So if you don't want the startup sequence, or you don't want the sequential turn signal, you can turn those on and off all by just turning your headlights on and off a certain amount of times. This is a project that I have been dreaming of for a very long time, and to see it come to fruition is such a crazy feeling. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on these and to see them installed on cars out on the road. Now, current ETA is early 2026. So for those of you that pre-order, I'm hoping to have these in your hands by January or February. They look insane and I am absolutely in love with them, and I hope you guys are as well. Let's talk about some tuning. I'm proud to say that we have partnered up with Boosted Performance Tuning to provide you guys with an Ecutech tuning package. Graham has been tuning my cars for over a decade now, and he's tuned hundreds of these cars. So to have him as our in-house tuner is an honor. He's literally right next door. So if you guys want a tune for your GR86 BRZ or first gen FRS 86 or BRZ, check out the tuning package on our website. You're gonna be working with Graham himself to make sure that your car is running as smoothly as possible, no matter what modifications you have done to it. And the Ecutech kit that we provide makes it super easy to install and flash the tune on your car. He was able to get my car to, I think the last time we dynoed it was with the Infinity Designs intake, and it made 236 wheel horsepower and 189 foot-pounds of torque, which is an increase of about 27 horsepower and 20 foot-pounds of torque, which for these cars is not too shabby. It's a lot more than my Time Attack FRS made. Another addition that I'm stoked about this month is Annex Suspension. They're not a brand that you see everywhere because they're not some humongous corporate suspension company. They're literally a group of car enthusiasts that got together years ago, which I love hearing because that's how it should be. And they were trying to solve a problem that they all had, which was trying to find a suspension setup that performed on the weekend, but was also comfortable on the daily commute, all while being as affordable as possible. Thus, Annex Suspension was born. If you go to their About Me section on their website, you'll see that they eat, sleep, and breathe all things A86 BRZ and GR86 related. So besides all that, what makes them different? Well, they are so confident in their product that they offer a money-back guarantee. So you can send these coilovers back if you aren't happy with how they ride to get your money back. No hassle. That speaks volumes on how much they stand behind their product. Their Fast Road Pro kits are for those of you that want sharp handling and daily comfort. They actually test these kits on each application to tune and find the right spring rates and valving, and they've done years of on-car testing and gathering user feedback to really dial in these setups and make sure that they're backed by actual data and not just a random spring rate that they toss on there hoping that it'll work. Now their sports spec, which I have here, is essentially track handling for the street. So they're tuned for higher grip tires and aggressive cornering. So they're gonna offer sharper response, flatter cornering, but still a compliant ride for spirited back road or track driving. Spring rates for the sports spec are 5K in the front and 6K rear. For the second gen, they've also upgraded the rear top hat for more rear stroke and better ride quality. And they've incorporated road noise isolators to further improve the comfort of your daily drive. Now, as far as ride height goes, you can go anywhere from the OEM ride height to barely tucking your tire. If you're looking to slam the car, these are not gonna be the right option for you. But if you're wanting the best of both worlds, comfort out on the street and performance out on the track, these are gonna be a fantastic option. And like I mentioned earlier, they are currently $250 off plus the $50 Driven Media gift card. So if you're interested in these, check out the link down in the description. If you guys have been following along on my GR86 build, you'll know that one of my favorite exhausts that I've installed on the car is from Apexi. It's their single exit N1 Evo Extreme that was installed when the car went to SEMA back in 2023. Well, now, Apexi products are available on the Driven Media website. They've got everything from a wide range of exhausts to suspension components to engine bay dress up, and we're actively adding their catalog to the website. So check back to see what all is available. I'm actually very excited to get that N1 Evo Extreme back on the car and test it with different headers and front pipes, because the one thing I wanted to see changed was just a little bit more volume. Jackson Racing is next up on the list. We've had their oil coolers on the site, but now they just released the pre-sale for their Supercharger kit. It features a Rotrex C3881 supercharger from an intercooler, mandrel bent, and powder-coated aluminum piping, and of course all the bracketry and hardware that you'll need to get it installed. It is a 100% bolt-on installation. You don't have to do any welding, cutting, or grinding of any sort. You can get either just the kit itself and have your own tuner tune your car, or you can get the factory tune system that comes with an Ecutech kit with the tune already installed to make everything plug and play. And that kit is also EPA compliant, and they are working on getting a CARB EO as well. The kit does come with an 8 PSI pulley standard that's gonna give you an increase of 40% horsepower and 35% torque over stock, which is a pretty significant gain for a lightweight sports car like the GR86 and BRZ. But if you want even more power, there is gonna be higher boost pulleys available eventually. And if you do opt for the pre-sale, you're gonna get a special launch edition supercharger bracket and some limited edition swag, I think a t-shirt and a hat, and a snap-on 3-piece driver set as well. Pretty sure Yo covered these in last month's video, but I did want to touch on them again real quick because I was actually able to get the chance to drive the BRZ with them installed and have nothing but good things to say. The Eibach lowering springs and sway bars make for a very balanced combination. Yo and I took the BRZ to Sonoma Raceway with both of those installed, and we're pleasantly surprised at how nimble and compliant the car felt with just springs. Yes, there's still gonna be the body roll present, but it's very manageable and predictable once you get comfortable in the car. I was able to shave off over 10 seconds from my first session. Granted, it's been a while since I've been out on track, so a lot of that is gonna be me just getting more comfortable, but I'm pretty sure I put down a relatively quick time in a car with just springs, sway bars, brake pads, and tires. I hear a lot of people say that you should just skip the springs and go straight to coilovers, but I do think that lowering springs are right for some people. Yes, you don't get the benefits of the ride height adjustment or the damping adjustment of coilovers, but it is super convenient to be able to just install the springs and not have to worry about messing with those adjustments and just drive the car and enjoy the improvements in performance. During our trip to SEMA, we stopped at the HKS booth to check out one of their new products they have available for the GR86 and BRZ, well, hopefully available soon. These are their performance dampers that they worked with Yamaha on, essentially a chassis damper system to help improve noise and vibration reduction. They had a simple little demo set up at their booth that showed how well these dampers actually work, and I was thoroughly impressed after holding the piece without the damper and then the one with. Another product I saw at SEMA for the very first time is the RacerX carbon fiber intake manifold. This was installed on Craig's car, and he was nice enough to pop the hood for me. He also let me know that this part actually kind of put a halt on his SEMA build progress for a bit because after he had everything installed, the intake was hitting his new hood. Probably wouldn't be an issue with the stock hood, but he sort of had to make a makeshift short ram intake with parts he had laying around to get the car running again so that he could get it to SEMA. Now, I don't have any power numbers or anything like that, otherwise I would share them with you. I wouldn't expect massive gains or anything like that, but I'm guessing it is going to help to smooth out that airflow and maybe increase the airflow, which is always going to be beneficial. I know there were gains to be had with the first gen aluminum intake manifold, so we could see some gains, some similar gains like that with this one. This next product is something that I stumbled upon recently on Aexi, believe it or not. It's the altered all-wheel drive fog light mounts for the GR86. I don't physically have these because I don't want to install fog lights on my car personally, but I do know there are a lot of you guys that do want to install them on your car. People have been asking me to make a grille that incorporates fog lights, but I just don't think there's enough demand for it. It's a large piece, it'd be probably pretty expensive, but these on the other hand are gonna be a much more cost-effective way to mount fog lights on your car, and I do think that they're gonna actually look pretty good on the right build. Imagine if you could mount the old school A86 fog lights with the pop-up covers, except those are like hundreds of dollars nowadays. Stupid. If you happen to be in the market for a top tier suspension setup, you definitely want to check out the Nitron suspension lineup. I was able to speak with the founder, Guy Evans, at SEMA this year, and he gave me some insight into their R1 and R3 coilovers for the GR86 and BRZ. Now, Nitron have been making high-quality suspension systems for over a quarter of a century now. They're based in the UK, but they just recently opened up a base in the US, and their team consists of experts in machining, materials technology, hydraulics, and even Formula One. And a lot of their team have actually competed in competitive racing in some sort of form, which gives them even more experience when it comes to the performance side of things. The engineering that goes into these coilovers and the materials and attention to details is next level. Just by turning the knob for the damping adjustment, I was able to feel the difference in quality compared to some of the other coilover brands that I have tested out in the past. Now, obviously, this all comes at a price. These are not cheap. You're gonna be paying upwards of $4,000 for the R1 coilovers and even more for the R3. But because of the high level of engineering that goes into these and the high quality materials, they come with a 5-year warranty, which is pretty crazy. These are definitely not cheap, but you get what you pay for. And this is one of those buy once, cry once type of deals. Let's jump back to something a bit more on the affordable side of things for most of us. Overtake shift knobs. These are their new Delrin shift knobs, available in 2 different variations. This is their short version, and their tall version, you can get it in either a white or black Delrin. Now, the great thing about these is because of the Delrin material, even if you park your car outside in the sun, they're not gonna get super hot like a stainless steel knob would that would burn your hand when you go to grab on it. These are going to stay nice and cool, so you don't have to worry about that. However, even though they're made of Delrin, they still have a pretty decent weight to them because of the stainless steel base. The short version weighs in at 275 grams, and the tall version weighs in at 320 grams. These are a great and quick way to improve your overall driving experience, and they're super easy to install as well. All you have to do is unscrew your old shift knob, screw these ones in, and you're good to go. Speaking of driving experience, if you feel like the throttle mapping in your car is a bit lacking, maybe you're experiencing some throttle lag, you may want to look into a pedal commander. This is another quick and easy installation, and it allows you to get rid of that throttle lag and switch from different modes that will make your throttle mapping either more aggressive or more conservative for fuel economy. Each mode has 9 levels of sensitivity that you can fine tune, and you can opt for an anti-theft mode that you can control through an app on your phone. Now, this isn't gonna magically give you more power, but it is a quick and easy way to make the car a bit more fun to drive without having to worry about your warranty. If you guys are wanting a little bit more exhaust noise in your life, Borla has released their single exit Atak catback exhaust system. It's a 3-inch system that exits out on the passenger side with a 4.5-inch tip. And it features their polyphonic harmonizer technology, which utilizes pipes of different diameters and lengths to achieve certain exhaust notes that are supposed to harmonize with each other, creating a clean, rich, and aggressive tone with no drone. You can actually see those pipes extend into the tip, giving this exhaust a very unique look. Now, this is gonna be a bit more on the aggressive side of things, but I will admit it does sound pretty dang good, and I'm a sucker for a good old single exit exhaust. And I think that does it for this month, guys. Don't forget to take advantage of all those Black Friday deals that are happening. If you like something you saw, all the links are down in the description. If you have any questions whatsoever, comment down below. I'm always happy to help. I hope you guys enjoy some fantastic food and quality time with your family and friends over Thanksgiving. Please be safe out there. I'll see you guys next time.